The best way to determine the best team is to play on the field or on the court. Okay, when teams are assembled into a division or conference, the best way to determine who the best team is, who is the true champion, is to have all the teams play. Big 12, congratulations, you're doing it right. The Big 12, with all its criticism, going back to not having a conference championship game in 2014 when the college football playoff was selected for the first time. The Big 12, you're not genius because you fell into this format by teams leaving your conference, but you fell into the purest form of competition for a conference championship. And that's where everybody plays everyone. Then there's no debate that this team has a tougher schedule. This team has an easier schedule. That's what we're faced with in college football. Specifically, the most egregious examples of this are in the ACC and the SEC, where we've got 14 teams and only 8 conference games. So take any particular team and they're missing 5 opponents in the conference. Therefore, what's created is unfair scheduling in those 2 conferences. They're the worst culprits, but also the Big Ten and also the Pac-12. Unfair scheduling. We are creating equitable, fair, balanced scheduling here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. Please, if you enjoy the debate, the discussion, the analysis that we provide, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Why should you subscribe? Well, you hit the bell for the notifications. That way you know when we're dropping new content. And you also know when we're firing up the live stream, which we do each and every day, multiple times per day, typically. And you join the best live chat in college football. You also call me and talk college football. And we do it every day. All right, let's move on to the Big Ten. And here's the issue. Not everyone can play everyone. If we're going to stay with this format, conference realignment, that's another topic. We have dealt with that in the past, and we will do it in the future if you request that. But we're dealing with the format that we've got right now, which are 10, 12, and 14 team conferences. The Big Ten with the 14 teams with the 9 conference games, at least they did away with the leaders and legends several years ago, went to East and West. But I'm saying, you know what? Get rid of the divisions. Don't need them. What is tying Maryland and Michigan together? Nothing. What is tying Purdue and Illinois together? Nothing. All right, we can still protect the rivalries, and the Big Ten may have more legit, and I mean legitimate rivalries, than any other conference. Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, playing Michigan, of course. Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan, Michigan State. Then you've got, of course, in the Western Division, all sorts of rivalries with Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois and Purdue, Indiana for the old Oaken Bucket. All right, so we get rid of the divisions, and we play 9 conference games. Okay, there are no fake rivalries, fortunately, in the Big Ten. That was something we had to deal with in the ACC and the SEC, where they have set up these crazy rivalries, fake rivalries between the likes of Kentucky and Mississippi State, and making them play every year. So what that creates is other teams only play every 6 or 7 years. It makes absolutely no sense. You can go 12 years, 12 to 13, 14 years, and not see another campus in the ACC and the SEC. So we are protecting the rivalries. Those will be scheduled every year. But we are also bringing an equitable schedule to the table. Meaning, okay, that in particular, this is just one example. I could give you 50. In 2018, Nebraska and Purdue play in the Big Ten Western Division. They play each other and they play everybody else in the division. Okay, fine. 6 of their 9 games are exactly the same. The Big Ten currently plays 3 out-of-division games. In that particular year, Nebraska played 3 teams in the Big Ten Eastern Division who went 20-7 the year before. Purdue played 3 teams in the Big Ten Eastern Division that went 10-17. A 10-game difference in quality of competition among the 3 teams on the schedule that were different. There's no reason for that. It creates an unfair situation to compete for a division or conference championship. Problem solved. It's easy. You build a schedule in which everyone plays a 500 schedule from the previous season. It is impossible, I underline impossible, to guarantee that everyone's schedule is going to be equal and fair and perfectly balanced, because you can't predict how much better teams will be or how worse or much a team will decline the next season. But you can at least build it fairly based on the previous season's results, because generally programs and teams stay the same. So we can project to a large extent, probably to an 80 to 90% accuracy figure, how good teams will be the next season. Ohio State's not going to go from being 9-0, 9-0, 9-0 forever in the Big Ten to going 2-7 in the Big Ten. So if you schedule somebody to play Ohio State, it needs to be balanced out that they play lesser teams to balance out that difficult opponent. All right. So 9 conference games. And all those teams played 9 conference games the previous season. Therefore, that's 81 games on a particular schedule. Therefore, everybody in the conference should be playing an aggregate schedule of teams that had a 40-41 record or 41-40 record. So we can't go exactly 500 because of the odd number of games, but you get the gist. It's not going to make a difference, 40 or 41 wins from the previous season. If we could do it 40-40, we would do that. So if you wanted to go back to an 8-game schedule, then we could make it perfectly balanced at 500, but it's going to be 41-40 or 40-41 for the aggregate schedule for everyone. You protect the rivalries, you've got fair scheduling, it's easy to do. The reason we're addressing this is because everybody wants a new playoff system. I do too. I want it more than anyone. The playoff system sucks. It's not even a playoff. It's an invitational. A playoff is an objective system in which teams earn their spot in the playoffs, not to be selected and invited to play in the playoff. That's what we currently have. But before we can do that, we've got to address scheduling, both conference scheduling and non-conference scheduling. So everyone seems to point to non-conference scheduling as being an issue in college football because the schools are running around scheduling their own games, and we'll take care of that. We'll do the non-conference video coming up very soon because that is near and dear to my heart as well. But we had to fix conference scheduling as well. It's flying under the radar in terms of an issue in college football, but it's very much one. Yes, I can give you a zillion examples from every conference of unfair, unbalanced scheduling, and we're expecting these teams to compete for the same conference championship in which one team is playing a difficult schedule, another team is playing an easy schedule. Makes no sense. It's stupid. Plus these fake rivalries in the ACC and the SEC make no sense and don't need to be played. Protect the real rivalries. Balance out the schedule. It can be done. So here's the deal. If you want to see a Big Ten schedule for 2021, get this video to 10,000 views, and I will build out the entire Big Ten schedule and show you that it can be done, but while ensuring the rivalries and having everybody play a 500 composite schedule. All right, you enjoy the content. Imagine your family, your friends, people out there on social media that love college football, they don't know we're here. You can share the links out there on Facebook and Twitter and other platforms and spread the word. Get people in here to watch college football and join the discussion, the debate, and analysis. Get us to 10,000 views on this video, and I will build a Big Ten schedule for 2021 right here at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football.